Okay, my name is Matthew Vasquez. I live on Oahu. I live on the south side of Oahu. My home spot is Ala Moana Bowls, which is pretty popular and known. I started surfing when I was 5 years old. That was from my dad who taught me. My dad was born and raised in California, and he did a lot of surfing there. But moving to Hawaii when I was 3 years old, longboarding was very new to him and that culture because he was a shortboarder mainly and he surfed big waves. So that was something that I ended up starting to pursue. And yeah, I mean, surfing in Hawaii, I think is like one of the greatest places in the world, if not the greatest place in the world to learn how to surf. And just to be part of that culture, which is, it's amazing to say the least. There's so many good surfers, and I think there's so many waves provided that you can announce your own style. And there's so many different styles and so many different approaches. And yeah, like surfing Ala Moana especially is like, not everybody can surf there. It's pretty exclusive. Like, one of the big things about Hawaii is respect is at the forefront. Like, it's not a matter of how good you are before it's a matter of how long you've been surfing the spot. So uncles get the waves, and then it's down to the people who are a little younger than them that have been surfing the spot longer, and then it's pretty much everybody else trying to fend for themselves and not get in the way. So that's how it was for me surfing at bowls. Getting into surfing bowls is like the pecking order. You got to know who's who, and then you catch scraps for a year before you get a decent wave. So that was the start for me, and I feel like that's the approach you should take on surfing, especially as a beginner. Anywhere you go, that's never going to harm you if you take that approach. So I guess that would be my piece of advice to people. But yeah, it's so fun. And as you can tell in this competition, in the finals, we have so many Hawaii surfers. And it just comes to show like how good we are at surfing, if you will. And like, there's no excuse for us to be in the finals. Like, we should be. We have some of the best waves in the world. So, you know, we try to prove ourselves here, and looks like we did again. So yeah. That list is like a scroll, man. It's like so many reasons. I think one of the big key things is like, this wave is so different, I think, for all of us collectively. So as a unit, we're all learning and growing. But it's also super even. You don't go into a heat and then think like you have so much more of an advantage over somebody, because it changes every 20 minutes here. So yeah, even the best guys are kind of falling, or the nose is sinking, and sometimes they're getting really good waves, and vice versa for all of us, you know? So that's really special. And then the people and the culture is so rich here. I'm sure you've got that said to you about 80 times already. But like, I just fall in love with the people every single time. Like, shout out to Minchopi, the restaurant up the street. Like, we've been going there a ton, and like, we've become friends with the servers there, and like, they remind me of my grandma, like straight up. So we took pictures with them, like, we love them. So yeah, the people, they're so down to earth, and it doesn't matter like how busy they are, they have time to speak to you, and they love when you're trying to participate in their cultural values, you know? Like, when you try to speak Spanish, they love it. It's not weird. So yeah. At one point, we were all there and we kind of understood what it meant, and then through the WSL and big events and invitationals, it's kind of been on a curvature, where there's some progressiveness coming into longboarding now, and which is cool because I guess it elevates the sport. But to me, classic longboarding is, you know, traditional 9/6 longboards, very full rails, pretty big square tail. Doesn't have to be flip tail, but decently sized, and it's just like all flow. It's not really like trying to crank a roundhouse. You're not really connecting lines like that. You're kind of just getting on the nose as you go. You're letting the wave tell you what to do, versus progressive longboarding, which is kind of making the wave work in your favor. You notice that when people start to do full roundhouse turns, or they start stalling on the tail to do one-hop jumps, that's no longer classic to me. I feel like the WSL now has a blend of trying to go more progressive, because you see people getting big scores by doing barrels or roundhouse on a longboard. That just isn't classic. But yeah, I guess the best way to find out what classic is, you go back to the late 60s and early 70s, and then you see how they're surfing. But I prefer classic longboarding, but as times change, I've been trying to be a little more progressive to move with the movement, which kind of worked out here this year. So I think everybody should surf for sure. Just do it right. You know, respect will get you so far in surfing. Um, and surfing contests is super fun. You have to learn how not only to win but how to lose, but also show support to people. So I would say show support and give notoriety where it's due, because I feel like that's so hard to find these days. People like to be supported but not to support. So that's what I would say. Support your friends just as they do to you. Yeah, and don't forget why we surf. Don't forget our ancestors that did it before us, you know, especially living on Oahu. It's like surfing was what our ancestors did, the Hawaiians, you know, the native Hawaiians, they did it first, but they shared it with the world. So let's not keep it for ourselves, you know? It's not all about us. Yeah, everybody that watched and tuned in so early, like all of my heats were super early. So thank you to everybody that tuned in to watch me. And I hope you enjoyed it and it wasn't a waste of time waking up. But yeah, just thanks for all the support.